Are you a South African musician trying to figure out how you can make more money off of one song? Welcome to this episode where I plan on demystifying just that. Cue the intro. What's up, it's your boy Skill from SkillMusicSA.com and welcome to my channel where I share information with my fellow South African musicians to help them improve on their music business. If this sounds interesting to you, please do consider subscribing, as I do have other videos I think you will find informative. In this video, I plan on sharing 5 ways in which one song can make more money. So basically you using the song more than once. So basically in my course titled Understanding Music Publishing in South Africa, I basically explain that each song has several ways of basically giving you more money and how to maximize one song. So I'm going to give you 5 ways in which you can do this with your latest single. So the very first one is to distribute alternative versions of the same song. So what do I mean by this? So typically when you have a single, you're going to have whatever the single goes, but there are several other variations and alternative versions of the song that you can distribute. So an example would be if your song is a hard trap beat, then you can have a mixed down a cappella version when you got a live mix or live instrumentation on there. Alternatively, you could also have a karaoke version which you also put on YouTube, and this one will also be streamed. So technically speaking, this one song was able to make 3 other types of songs. So you try do this in order to have different people use the same type of song, but since it's been tweaked accordingly, it can be used by another person. So a nice one that I like using is the karaoke version. I have the lyric video, basically use the karaoke version, put it up on YouTube, and then basically whenever I perform, wherever I go where there's a karaoke, I perform the karaoke version of my own song, which means you also get to perform your own song, which is another benefit of doing this. So distribute alternative versions of the same song. Number 2 is to make your music available for sync placement. I actually learned the alternative version thing from my sync hustle. Basically, you have these alternative versions for your song, but you also want these songs to be available to be synced into things such as movies, videos, games, etc. But depending on your song, it might or might not work. But what I like using before I start finding a publisher or music library for this type of thing is I go for non-exclusive libraries. Typical ones that I use is something like Pond5. Another one is Songtrust. I haven't used that extensively, or I haven't seen results from there yet, but I've started putting my music there before I actually try find a music library. Sometimes the libraries will allow that, but most of the times they do not. So keep that in mind if you're going to be using a platform such as Pond5, etc. to try get sync and additional revenue from your music. So try get your music into sync or placement to try make more money from the same song. Number 3 is to make a mini documentary series of the making of the song. So what do I actually mean by this? Basically, you try record as much content for this one song in order to put onto a platform such as YouTube. So you basically explain how the song started, how the process went, where the song ends, but you don't just clump it up into one long 20-minute video. You try make it into shorter 10 to 8-minute videos, and basically you put that up on a platform such as YouTube. If you're not part of the partner program already, you use a platform that does content ID to try get you revenue. So basically the content ID will hear your song on the video and start collecting royalties for you if you're not on the YouTube partner program. But if you are, then technically all the advertising revenue that you get from all these mini documentary videos, these will go into your pocket. And that's another way of expanding and maximizing that one song. You basically just explained how you made the song. So the third way is to basically document the making of that one song. Number 4 is to repurpose the lyrics of your song for merch or gear. Now, this is a lot easier said than done depending on where you live and the situation with your fan base, that you can basically put some lyrics onto your shirt or different types of merchandise in order to try make money off of. So what I like using is Teespring, or you can use something like Printful, which is a print on demand service. Basically, when a customer says, I want this, they print it and they send it to the customer. This is easier because you don't have to hold the inventory, and it helps start to get money in from your customers. So you basically want to put something from your lyrics that is powerful. So for example, I have a single that's coming out called Chill Out. The title is Chill Out, so I can use that on a shirt, and that can be worn by several types of people, not just my fan base. But I highly suggest that you repurpose the lyrics in order to try maximize that one song and put it on merchandise. So the fourth one, repurpose your lyrics for merchandise. Number 5 is to make print sheet music for your music. Now, this won't work for all types of genres, particularly hip hop, I know. But if you're doing a genre such as R&B, gospel, a genre where the lyrics have a melody, then you can print sheet music for your music. So what is sheet music? Sheet music is basically music that can be visually seen by musicians on a piano roll or stave, and basically pianists see it and then they can play that. You can sell that to other musicians, or you can get a publisher to sell it on your behalf. But if you're making melody driven music such as R&B, pop, etc., typically genres that there's a lot of singing in, then printing sheet music is another great way to try and maximize your revenue of one song. The 6th way, that is a bonus one, is the typical stuff that you should be doing already. So this would be stuff as getting your music onto radio, making music videos, putting those videos up onto channels like Channel O, MTV Base. Just do a typical Google search to find out how to get your music onto these different platforms. But the 6th way is a bonus one, and it's a typical one that you should be doing already to try maximize your song. Also remember that you have the alternative versions in the very first step, alternative versions. So those versions might work better at different radio stations. So you've maximized this one composition in order to try place it into different avenues and ways of getting money back into you. But that concludes this video. I hope you found it informative, and if you did, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, as I do have other videos I think you will find informative. I'd also like to remind you about my course titled Understanding Music Publishing in South Africa. This course was made basically to help musicians try understand how all these different organizations such as SAMRO, SAMRO, RISA, etc. fit in order to try maximize and make more money as for you, the musician. But that concludes this video, and until next time, Skilligan the Hooligan signing out.